Om Shanti. Today we have a masterclass on power of powers of spirituality. And it is my pleasure and honor to introduce our very distinguished brother, Dr. E.V. Swaminathan, who has spent more than 27 years in his journey with the BKs, with the Brahma Kumaris. And he's a life coach, a guide, a teacher, a counselor, and consultant with a clear focus on creating a value-based society. He has a BTech in mechanical engineering, a diploma in Delta healing, post-graduation diploma in health, masters in psychology, masters in counseling, masters in yoga, master in crisis management, and the list goes on, with a doctorate, a PhD in emotional and quantum intelligence. So we are really delighted to have you here, brother. Welcome to this masterclass, and we are really looking forward to hearing you. So over to you, brother, Dr. E.V. Swaminathan.
Om Shanti. Is my voice audible?
Yes, thank you, Om Shanti.
So, good morning, all of you. Please accept lots of greetings of peace, love, and happiness from the Source, the Almighty Shiv Baba. It's a very great pleasure to join all of you on this beautiful Sunday morning. And I really acknowledge and appreciate all of you, dear divine, pure, beautiful souls who have been joining on Zoom and every day doing this study of the Avyakt Vani. I had the honor of interacting with you maybe some months before, and I got this unique opportunity once again. And today what we are going to discuss is about all the spiritual powers that we have. It was very aptly put by this beautiful song that we all heard a couple of minutes before. We understand the knowledge very well. We are all knowledgeful souls. We listen to the Sakar Murli, we listen to the Avyakt Murli, we listen to so many classes shared to us by the Vichar Sagar Manthan done by so many souls in our yagya. But the end of the day, what is very very important for all of us is to have an elevated position from knowledgeful souls to powerful souls. Now, what is the difference between knowledge and power? It's a very simple thing that when in an actual situation, when we are able to apply the wisdom and the jewels of wisdom that we know already, when we start applying it in an actual situation, it is called that we are all very very powerful souls. Because in the days to come, maybe the whole world is going through a phase of transition and transformation, and we all understand that we have all completed our 84 births, so there is so much of karmic connection that has to be settled. So all of us naturally have to face many exams. When you go to any university or when you go to any school, also you see, there are many students who really work very very hard. For example, a tough exam like CAT or joint entrance examination or UPSC. There are so many people who appear for that exams, and to be very honest, they work very tirelessly, they put in a lot of efforts, but at the end of the day only some people get selected. What could be the reason? Because in the 2 hours or 3 hours of examination, at that time when you're appearing for that exam, you know how much you are able to apply the knowledge, and that is what really matters. That is all for the exams. Now even if you fail in an UPSC exam, nothing to worry, you can appear it for the next time. But in our life, every day we face so many exams. The exams can be an economic issue, it could be a emotional issue, it could be connected with health, it could be connected with nature. There are so many exams that all of us have to face on a day-to-day basis, and in the days to come, Baba has told us very clearly that these exams will keep on increasing. So Don't worry about the exams, but we need to be prepared for their exams. That's what Baba is trying to, help us out, and our efforts will really, be successful when we pass in a real exam. So for passing that real exam, what is very, very important is that we should be empowered. Now, if a person appears for a joint entrance examination, he tends to become an engineer. If you pass a UPSC exam, you become an IAS or an IPS officer, right? And you feel that, yes, you are very, very successful. But here, when we pass the exams of life, Baba is actually teaching us to become deities. हम सभी को देवी देवता बनना है, मनुष्य से देवता बनना है. So all the study that we are doing is to getting transformed from human beings to deities. And therefore, if you go to various temples, you will see even people, when they face any exams, they rush to temples and they pray in front of the idols, which is actually a reflection of our own being. We had become successful once upon a time, right? All the 33 crore Devi Devta. But yes, the most important is the 8. Then you have 108, then 16,000, 108. So we should always remember our Lakshya in front of us, that we have to all become deities. We have to all become powerful. So let me share screen some of the slides for all of you. So today we'll understand the 8 powers of spirituality, right? Now, we all know this is a very famous, that we've all been, seeing this image right from the childhood days. And this image actually reflects the 8 powers, okay? And it has been reflected in the form of 8 hands of a Devi, okay? And it is also referred as Shiv Shakti, Shiv Shakti. So when we remember Shiv Baba, okay, we slowly start getting these 8 powers. Now, one thing is remembering that 8 powers, and number 2 is applying those 8 powers. So first of all, we should be very clear which are the 8 powers. Okay. Now I'll tell you in the form of a very simple story, so that you'll be able to remember it. And I'll put it in the form of an image also. Okay. So the story goes on like this. It's a very simple, beautiful story. One day we were all walking through a road, okay, and suddenly you see a tortoise, and the tortoise was so wonderful, so beautiful, that you liked the tortoise very much. So what did you do? You decided to carry the tortoise with you. So you packed the tortoise in a suitcase, and you started walking towards your destination. As we are walking, carrying the tortoise in the suitcase, suddenly you felt a lot of hunger. So you saw a tree laden with lots of fruits. So you plucked that fruits and you started eating it. So the first keyword is a tortoise. The second keyword is the suitcase. The third keyword is the fruits, right? Then you started walking. Then you felt a lot of thirst. So there you saw a very beautiful river. So you went to the river, you started drinking water, and then after some time, inside that lake or the river, you saw a very beautiful diamond ring. Now you are so happy to receive the diamond ring, but you wanted to verify whether it's an actual diamond ring or not. So you took it to a jeweler. The jeweler inspected the diamond and said it's a real, pure diamond. You felt so happy. And after verification of the diamond, you walked out of the shop. And as soon as you walked out of the shop, you saw there was an accident there. Now you were very curious who has met with that accident. So you go close to that accident, and you see that there's an orphan child orphan person who has met with an accident. You help that person started walking, and then you offer the diamond to that particular person and said, whatever you want to have the medical expenses, you can take it from this. And that person who's met with an accident, he became so happy that he gave you a lot of blessings. And from the blessings, you actually became Bab Saman. You became like a father, Bab Dada, right? So these are the 8 things. Okay, the first, so this is a very wonderful story, and through the story at least you'll be able to remember the keywords. So let's revise the keywords once again. So the first keyword is a tortoise. The second keyword is the suitcase. The third keyword is the fruits. The fourth keyword is the river. The fifth keyword is the diamond ring. The sixth keyword is the jeweler. The seventh keyword is an accident. The eighth keyword is a person who's met with an accident. The ninth one is blessings, and the 10th one is Bapdada, to become like a father. So out of this 10, the first 8 actually reflects the 8 powers of the being. So which are the 8 powers? Let's try to understand. So the 8 powers is this one, the first one, and therefore it has got a very beautiful order also. Okay, and therefore today we will understand the order also. The first, the one is a tortoise. The tortoise means actually the power to withdraw. Okay, let's understand the powers, and then slowly we'll understand its application also. The second is the suitcase, and the power that is reflected through a suitcase is the power to pack up. Okay, so the third one is the fruits. So the picture always shows this particular one as a boy is throwing stones on the fruit, and the whole tree is, it is bending down. So it is basically you are throwing stones, but the tree is giving us fruits. So the third one is the power to tolerate. Okay, the river actually symbolizes the power to accommodate. Okay, the power to accommodate. The ring is actually the power to discriminate what is right and what is wrong. And the jeweler actually, what does it do? It's a power of judgment. Nirnay karne ki shakti. And then there was an accident. At that time, what we need to have is the power to face. And then you have, you help that particular person. So it is actually called as the power to cooperate. So these are the 8 powers. Okay. And these 8 powers is actually very much required when we face any exam. It's not only facing an exam. Many people may say, no, but exams, okay, theek hai, we don't face much of the exams. And maybe we are prepared also. But what would I suggest today is, this 8 powers is actually required for fighting our greatest enemy. And that is the weakness within ourselves. So if we have to change any of our sanskar also, we need to have this 8 powers. So I'm actually speaking today with the context of both the things. Number one is when we face an actual exam, but more important than that is every day we are facing an exam with our own weakness. We have to become from human beings to deities. So while we have this beautiful journey traveling from human being to deities, we have so much of our weakness. Sometimes we get angry, sometimes we have this negative thoughts, sometimes we have this flavor and fauna of jealousy, hatred. Okay, then sometimes we have fear and stress, tension. There's so many things that happens. So basically the same technology can be used, to face this exam of weakness, and that is how we slowly gets transformed to DT. So that in that particular journey also, in that particular context also, this is very, very important. So now let's try to understand. Now the first one is the power to withdraw. Now what do you mean by power to withdraw? The most important thing, the power to withdraw actually means, okay, in any situation, okay, the first and the foremost, in fact, out of the 8 powers, the first 4 are the very, very fundamentals of it. It's actually the very, very foundation of it. So when we are facing an actual exam, the first thing that we have to do is we have to become a tortoise. What does the tortoise mean? The tortoise means we have to actually withdraw ourselves. Withdraw ourselves is actually at the mental and emotional level, and it will take just 1 second to withdraw, right? And what we need to do is just 1 second, you bring the consciousness, the awareness that who am I? That's what is very, very important. And the moment this consciousness happens, who am I? It is just a split of a second. It's a microsecond, microsecond. But actually, when the situation happens, we are so engrossed in that, and we are so engulfed, when we are so entangled in that particular problem. So when you are entangled in that particular problem, the power station doesn't get activated, because if you have to face its situation, the power station has to become very powerful. And the power station is the Atman. The power station is the being. The power station is the soul. So in fact, the 8 powers is basically the summary. It is actually the summary of the entire Raj Yoga. So the first step, because when we are facing an exam, the thoughts, the emotions, the feelings that comes to our mind is, why did this happen? Why, what, when, where, how? So this is what we are engulfed with. Why did this happen? How did this happen? It should not be there. At that time we forget everything, and then somehow we realize that we have not actually become successful in that exam. The same thing, for example, when we are engulfed with a situation wherein we get angry. Why did the person behave like this? How did he did this to me? So that's a situation. Some person is coming in front of, an event is coming in front of me, a situation is coming in front of me to give me an exam. The exam is actually coming to me to test myself. So I should not be fearing it, but I should be aware of the technology. I see some students who are very, very confident in writing that exams, and they become very successful also, because they are very, very clear of the technology. So the technology is this: any situation comes, the first thing is shift your consciousness for 1 second. Who am I? And that 1 second consciousness is, I'm a twinkle twinkle little star. Main Atma hu. I am that soul. So the power to withdraw. Okay, the power to withdraw, to become a tortoise. So what does the tortoise do? The tortoise is walking along the road. If the tortoise sees some person, so immediately the tortoise withdraws its consciousness, and it takes itself inside that, the shell. And therefore it is also told that the tortoise lives for more than 150 years, because the breathing of a tortoise is very slow and very, very deep. But in actual situation, what happens to us is breathing becomes very, very high. And why does the breathing becomes very high? Because the thoughts are running at a very, very high velocity. So we have to stop those thoughts, and for 1 second, who am I? And this is the most important thing that we have to do. So any situation, we have to become a tortoise. Okay, because the power station is activated. When the power station is activated, things would start settling down, and we get the power, we'll be able to face the situation. Okay, so the first and the foremost thing is this. So any situation, so now I want you to visualize which is the situation, or which is the weakness that we are trying to overcome. Okay, and that situation comes, I need to activate my power station. I need to withdraw from that weakness, bring my consciousness to who am I. So tortoise actually means the consciousness of the self. Okay, so let's get on to the story once again. One day we were walking along the road, we saw a tortoise. So tortoise means the power to withdraw. Who am I? I am the twinkle twinkle little star. Okay, I was so happy seeing the tortoise. I carried the tortoise in a suitcase. Now the suitcase actually means the power to pack up. Now what are we supposed to do? Power to pack up means what? Usually in a general parlance, we say whenever we are traveling in a journey, we will always carry those things which is required when we reach the destination. But here in this, when we are actually facing a situation and we're fighting with a weakness, so what does it mean, the power to pack up? The power to pack up means the 7 values of the self. The 7 values of the self, the core innate values. So we should have a lot of stock of these 7 values. Now, actually, we are all peaceful, we are all loveful, we are pure beings. But in an actual situation, what we are supposed to do? First is we have to shift our consciousness. Who am I? And the very next second, out of these 7 values, which is the value that you like the best? In 1 second, I should be able to feel that innate value. So we all know we have got 7 values, okay? Knowledge, purity, peace, love, happiness, power, and bliss. So I'll tell these 7 values once again. In case I'm sure all of you are listening to this, so if you can put it on the chat, which is the value that you like the best, okay? Maybe some of you may like all the 7 values. That's so beautiful. But then out of the 7 values, which is your actual strength? So I'll repeat it once again. Okay, somebody is already, putting it on the chat. Very good. I really appreciate Balvinder Kaurji. Very good. So once again, I'll repeat the 7 values. If some of you can type it on the chat, that will be very sweet of you. It's knowledge, purity, peace, love, happiness, then power, and then bliss. Can you put it on the chat? Okay, some of you say all 7. Beautiful, good enough. So we have to actually become Sarvagun Sampan. But out of these 7 values, which is that most important, the value? Okay, thank you for your response. Now, usually, when you go for any interview, people ask you the standard 2 questions, the standard 2 questions. The final, if somebody wants to ask you, these are the 2 questions that has been asked everywhere. The first one is, who are you? Or in other words, when you face an interview, please introduce yourself. And number 2, please tell your strengths and weakness. And these are the usual questions that is posed for any candidate in an interview. When we are facing an exam, when we are facing an actual interview, okay, when we are facing a situation or whatever it is, these are the 2 things that we should remember at that particular time. Number 1 is, who am I? Number 2, to fight that weakness, what is my strength? So while you're doing this yoga, okay, while you're doing this yoga, sitting on this yoga, while we're doing meditation, so we always say, I'm a twinkle, twinkle little star, I'm a loveful being, I'm a pure being, I'm a knowledgeful being. That's fine, good enough. So while we are meditating, this awareness and this consciousness is there. Only thing is, we should have so much of a practice, and we should have this consciousness that during that actual exam, we should be able to remember it. So today is a very wonderful, beautiful day, Sunday. So in this Sunday, now you need to check up. The family members are there. You may have a lot of work to do. Maybe it's quite possible, right? Nobody's helping you in the kitchen, or nobody's helping you to clean your cupboard, etc. Whatever could be the situation. And then you start getting irritated. The moment you're getting irritated, it means I'm losing my power. At that time, while you're working on the kitchen, while you're cleaning your cupboard, nobody's helping you, you're calling your family members, but all are busy with the laptops and mobile phones. And then you have got so many work to do because the guests are going to come, you have to prepare also. There's so many things happening. It's a very simple situation. So while you're working in the kitchen, while you're doing the household cleaning work, at that time, who am I? I am that twinkle, twinkle little star. Right? Then what is my real consciousness? I'm a being full of love. If I'm able to remember this consciousness, maybe that weakness of anger which is coming in the form of such a kind of a situation, all the family members are a part of this beautiful drama. They're going to give us so many exams. At that time, we'll be able to face that exam, because at the end of the day, if we have to become deities, it's only a connection between I, the being, and Shiv Baba. All other family members are just beautiful actors in this wonderful, beautiful drama. And this drama will keep on happening for the another next 5,000 years. So today, being a very beautiful Sunday, I want you to make this Sunday very beautiful by applying these 8 powers. So the first 2 power is a tortoise. First, withdraw. Who am I? Number 2 is I am a pure being. I am a loveful being. So keep on catching, holding all that strength that you told. Okay, then you will be able to overcome your weakness. Okay, so the second thing is We were walking along the road, we saw a tortoise, we packed the tortoise inside the suitcase. The suitcase means the values of the self. Okay. Now, as I started walking, I felt hungry, so I throw a stone on the fruit. The tree gave me a fruit. So this is the third power, is the power to tolerate. The power to tolerate. We all know the power of tolerance, right? Now, for example, I'll give you an example and what we are supposed to do at that particular time. So suppose, just imagine a situation where Swami Bhai is doing the household cleaning work because some guests are going to come, and I'm cleaning the cupboard. So I called my brother once, please come and help me. He did not. I again called on to him, please help, because the guests are going to come in half an hour. We have to do so much of a cleaning work. Please come and help me out. He did not come. The third time I again called him, please come and help me to just lift this cupboard or shift that cupboard from this position to this position. Again, he did not come. So I became really terribly angry and I shouted at the top of my voice. It means, and I became angry. And actually, I understand I failed in that exam, wherein I need to be very peaceful, because I have to become a Shanti Dut. I have to become a messenger of peace. I have to become a Shanti Deva. But then I failed in that exam. I got angry in the fourth time. So means Swami Bhai's power of tolerance is 30%. I did not get even the passing marks. Now, if I have to increase my power of tolerance from 30% to 40%, 50%, 60%, what am I supposed to do? You will say you apply the first two things. Okay. In the first, okay, 3 times I did the same thing. I'm a twinkle, twinkle little star. I'm a peaceful being. So again, called him for the second time. He did not come again. I called him, I'm a peaceful being. Again, he did not come. The third time I called, I am a very peaceful being. He did not come. And then I became angry. So the first 2 steps was done. But then I failed. I got only 30%. Please tell me, please put it on the chat. How do I, or even you may unmute also, and then you can speak to me. What should Swami Bhai do to increase my power of tolerance from 30% to 40%, so that I don't get angry in the fourth time, I don't get angry at the fifth time? Yes, yes. The brother may be very busy, fine. But then I became angry, na? So what should I do to myself? Or maybe he isn't there. That is also possible. He may have his own very good reasons. But then I became angry. I'm a pure soul, I'm a powerful soul, I'm a loving soul. I did it 3 times. Harpreet Bahan, I did it 3 times. First time I said I'm a pure soul. Second time I said I'm a powerful soul. The third time I said I'm a very divine soul. All I did. 3 times I did it. Fourth time I flared up. So what should I do? What should Swami Bhai do to increase my power of tolerance? What should I do?
Let go.
Let go. Okay, I did it. I let go. So for doing let go, what should I do? Ocean of mercy. Okay, okay. What should I do? Yes, yes, I appreciate. Deep. Oh, bah.
Roll your tongue.
Deep breathing and sing a song. And invite your brother singing a song. That's so wonderful. Beautiful. I appreciate all these answers. But all the solutions that you gave, it's all absolutely right solutions. Absolutely good enough. You take a deep breath. I do it myself. I did it thrice. But then I need somebody's help to push that cupboard. So I do not have any expectations from anyone except Shiv Baba, my companion. I'm a powerful soul. That's so sweet of you. Exactly. Except Shiv Baba. So at
I
that
just roll my
particular time,
tongue.
what is that, sister? Yes,
I
yes.
just roll my tongue so that no
Okay.
words come out from it.
Okay, finally you have to do it myself, but then okay, maybe he's very busy, so he's just waiting to come. Only the fourth time you could have been very loveful, you could have been very pure, you could have been very peaceful, so that you would have faced that exam of not getting angry and you could have become successful. See, in that particular time now, all these answers are right, but the power of tolerance can only be increased when at that time, first what I did was I shifted my consciousness to the self. I am the twinkle, twinkle little star. Number 2, I'm a very peaceful soul. Number 3, so that I don't get angry. Yeah. Okay, you can do the shifting of the cupboard after 10 minutes also. You can spend your time doing the other work, and then you can call them. You could have done so many things. But at that time, the whole thing is, what is very, very important is, in such a kind of a situation, what is very important, we should connect our consciousness to the Supreme, Shiv Baba. That's what is very, very important. We should shift our consciousness to connecting ourselves to the Almighty. Okay, that's very, very important. In any situation can come from anywhere, etc. But at that time, okay, the power of tolerance has to be increased when I remember the Almighty. When I remember the Almighty, because that's the Supreme Being. The Supreme Being, when you remember the ocean of peace, the ocean of love, the ocean of happiness, the ocean of purity, okay, slowly we start receiving those vibrations. And when we receive those vibrations is what the power stations, the power will certainly increase. Yes, that's the right answer. That Baba is with me. Because the energy, the pure energy automatically flows from a higher energy level to a lower energy level. So the power station is actually not getting that power. So you connect it with the Almighty. So the power of tolerance has to be remembered. So that time when nobody is going to help me, I'm getting angry. At that time, you should be able to remember Baba. And the mantra that we all should remember at that time is Mere Baba, Mithe Baba, Pyare Baba, Shukriya Baba. Mere Baba, Mithe Baba, Pyare Baba, Shukriya Baba. Okay. So this is the most important thing. So number 4th, I hope all of you have got the solution. So when you start remembering the Almighty, whatever you said, peace, love, happiness, mercy, compassion, automatically starts, you increase this power station. So we were walking along the road, suddenly we saw a tortoise. Okay, the power to withdraw, then we fill the tortoise into the suitcase, the power to pack up, then it is a power of tolerance, and the 4th power is the river. The river means, what does the river say? The river is to accommodate. Okay, the power to accommodate. Now what does it mean in actual situation? What does it mean? See, what happens is when you start remembering Shiv Baba, okay, now what is the advantage that you get? If somebody has told me, somebody has hurt, given me hurt in any situation, so at that time I'm not getting angry. Okay, I'm peaceful because I'm remembering Shiv Baba. But after some time, when we again come to the real consciousness, what happens is, why didn't he help me? Why did this happen? Again, that hurt and pain starts developing. I did not say anything. I did not get angry at all. But that hurt and pain is there within me. So at that time, what we should do? Okay, what are we supposed to do at that particular time? So what is very, very important is, actually, when the river starts flowing and when it joins the ocean, okay, this is what it means, the power to accommodate. The power to accommodate means, can I have a relationship with the Almighty? For example, a small boy, if he has got some, somebody told him, somebody hurted him, somebody taunted him, so he's feeling so much of a pain, etc. So he comes to the home sweet home as soon as the mother opens the door and she sees that particular boy and is full of, tears. What does the mama do? And the boy starts telling, Mama, this happened, that happened. The mama automatically embraces him, and within minutes, the hurt and the pain is gone. And there is so much of a smile in the person's face, the student's face. This is what we have to do. Natural situation, the seven relationship that we attach it with Shiv Baba. And which are the 7 relationship? It's the Supreme Father, Supreme Teacher, Supreme Sadguru, Pita, Shikshak, Sadguru. The 4th one is Shiv Baba is my mother. The 5th one is Shiv Baba is my friend, Shiv Baba is my beloved, and the 7th one is Shiv Baba is my child also. The seven relationship. So the moment we start relating with Shiv Baba, okay, what happens is all the hurt and the pain is automatically gone. So these are the first 4 fundamental and the strong powers. The first one is a tortoise. Okay, the second one is the power to pack up the 7 values, withdraw, who am I? The third one is how do I increase the power of tolerance? Shift the consciousness to elevated consciousness. Remember Shiv Baba. And the fourth and the which one we did is start connecting with Shiv Baba as a father. Start, sharing your experiences with Shiv Baba. Start communicating with Shiv Baba. So the moment you do it, all our hurt and pain will be like a river, and slowly will start getting immersed in that ocean. So this is the fourth one, right? So the fifth one is, yes, absolutely right. And the fifth one is, next is the ring, the diamond ring. Here is, now once you have, it will all take 1 millisecond, 1 microsecond. But the next and the most important thing is, okay, now what do you mean by, the power to discriminate? The power to discriminate is actually our mind. Okay, because when we do all actions, it is through our mind, then the intellect and the sanskar. Basically, the diamond ring and the jeweler reflects our mind and intellect. So when we do this, automatically our mind will become very pure, will become very, very peaceful, and then it will be easy for the intellect to take a decision. So basically the first 6 is, first, I remember who am I, right? The values of the self, remember Shiv Baba, connect it with a relationship, then it is our mind and intellect. The mind will become very, very pure. The intellect will become very, very divine. Okay, and then is our sanskar. And that is what, the power to face in an accident is our own sanskar, is our own resolves. So in an actual situation, once this is there, now you have to face the situation. But in reality, what happens? We start facing the situation right from one. So this is the order that you should remember. And the last one is the power to cooperate. Power of cooperation doesn't actually mean that I have to cooperate with somebody. The power of cooperation actually means in that actual situation, you will suddenly find people helping you out. You will suddenly see somewhere some situation comes, and then you will feel the situation so easy, so relaxed. Somebody will help you out, somebody will cooperate with you. So once you are getting that cooperation, it means your circuit diagram is absolutely correct. Your circuit diagram is absolutely right. So these are the 8 powers of the self, right? So I hope all of you are very clear with these 8 powers. Now we'll do, if you have any questions, you are most welcome to ask me. Otherwise, we'll do a 5 minutes of meditation. But before that, we will do a very simple revision of these 8 powers. Okay, the first power, as you all will remember, is a tortoise. It's a power to withdraw, number 1. Number 2 is, the power to withdraw means I'm a twinkle, twinkle little star. Number 2 is the values of the self, which is the most important value that is required. That is the second thing. The third one is remember the Shiv Baba. Number 4th one is connect with Shiv Baba with a very wonderful relationship. The 5th one is by the time the mind will become very pure, the intellect will become very divine, and then you should face a situation. And once you start facing the situation with this circuit, you'll start seeing the cooperation at various ends. So these are the 8 powers of the self. So today is a very wonderful, beautiful Sunday. We can always experiment right from morning till evening. Whatever the situation comes, how are you able to face this situation? So if you have any questions, you are most welcome to ask me. And then, okay, we will do a 3 to 5 minutes of commentary. Okay, if you have any questions, you're most welcome to ask.
Om Shanti, brother.
Om Shanti.
Brother, there's something behind you. If I just tell you that, what would you do immediately? You will just look at something behind. At that moment, that's the first reaction of any human being. Any challenge, any situation comes, anything, let it be a small one or a big one. We are not going to say, okay, let me go inside. First thing is out. Then it may be even a micro nanosecond. But that is the first, before I invoke any power, even that is another nanosecond. The first thing, what if something just happens, I see an accident, I see something, somebody shouts at me, anything, let it be anything. I'm a saint, I'm a really yogi, I've done so many things, beautiful, beautiful. But you'll see that 1 nanosecond, because I'm not Shiv Baba. I just do. Then I say, oh, that was just false. That is just an accent I do. But so, that's what happens before really that P for power comes. Or I do. I think, I don't know why, is it because being human? So when you said withdraw, I was just thinking, no, something in me, thing it goes.
No, I really appreciate your observation, and it's true also. When you speak to a very, very nano atomic level, micro level, this happens with every one of us. Very true. But when you say the second thing, okay, first that came, my God, or that kind of a feeling, aha, or wow, or whatever it is. Okay, somebody shouting at you, suddenly you look at it. But the very next second, if you can remain at least peaceful, instead of why did this happen, that if that also can be done to a very large extent, you have passed that exam. You did not react at all. There was no reaction at all. So therefore we say, in order to manage your stress, etc., increase your reaction time. And instead of reacting, can you respond? So naturally, if a situation comes, our consciousness will go there. Naturally, it will certainly go there. There is no doubt about it. But the very next second, instead of reacting, if I am able to respond to a situation, you have passed your exam. You have cleared your exams. You have cleared your UPSC civil service exam. Right now. So yes, that microsecond, if I am able to maintain that harmony within me instead of reacting. What happens is people react so fast. Yeah. Okay. So that is what we need to do. Okay. Anything else? Any other observations? Or maybe any other feedback you would love to give? Any questions? Okay. If everything is okay, let's do one thing. Let's do a 3 minutes of meditation. In this meditation, what we have to do is basically sitting over here. Okay. We need to see a situation where, every one of us feel that this is an exam that happens to us. Okay. Maybe it could be a situation. It could be a sanskar. So through your mind and intellect, you should see that particular situation. You should see that situation and see yourself there. Till now, I have been reacting to a situation, but using these 8 powers, we should see ourselves in a new role. I should see myself in a new role, see myself doing the dialogue delivery, see myself acting in a new situation, and then I should visualize myself being successful. Okay, so when I program my mind and intellect in that particular situation, it would be much more easy for me in an actual situation. So this is what is called as an applied meditation. Okay, so for a couple of minutes, we will do this very simple meditation. Okay, so all of you relax yourself completely. Relax yourself completely. Take a deep breath and slowly exhale. Again, take a deep breath and slowly exhale. Relax. Let us see ourselves as a point of light at the center of the forehead. I, the being, is a pure light, very peaceful, very loveful, and very, very pure. Through my mind and intellect, I see in front of me the situation where I need to pass that exam. I take myself to that situation. I have good feelings towards everybody. I have the feeling that everybody should change. But Baba has told me to empower myself, which is a situation where I get angry, or where I get negative thoughts. I see the situation very vividly. I take myself to that situation, and if that situation appears, in 1 second, I bring my consciousness from the external to the internal. At the center of the forehead, I see myself a sparkling star. I slowly withdraw from that situation. I see myself with all pure divine values. The Atman is full of divine values. I have this power of tolerance. And to increase the power of tolerance, I connect myself to the Supreme. In 1 second, Mere Baba, Meethe Baba, Pyare Baba, Shukriya Baba. Baba is an ocean of all pure values and powers. I see the vibration of all pure positive energy coming to me. I see Baba as my Supreme Father, Supreme Teacher, and Supreme Sadguru. I see myself being empowered. All my negativity slowly being immersed in the ocean of love. Baba is blessing me with a very pure mind and with a very divine intellect. And using this pure mind and divine intellect, I slowly face the situation. And I see help, support, and cooperation from all ends. I feel that I've become stronger and powerful than the situation. I see myself successful. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Thank you very much. Om Shanti.
Thank you, brother. That was a really wonderful session. And I think in those simple pictures which you drew, and with the tortoise, and then the suitcase, and the tree, and the river, and then the ring, I'm trying to recollect my own self. then the jeweler, and then the last one was which one after the jeweler?
Accident.
Accident, yes.
The
So
power to
I think
face.
power to face. So thank you so much for giving us that method to actually practice and becoming so powerful that we can use the power of powers.
Yes.
And I think that was the magical note of this session, and so kind of you. And thank you, Baba, and thank you, Divine Family. Thank you, brother, for being here and sharing your knowledge with us. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Have a very wonderful Sunday in the remembrance of Baba. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Shanti.
Thank you, Bhai.